I'm just going to say this. I think GLP-1s for people who do not medically need them is the modern day anorexia. I do. I think it's an eating disorder. This is going to be a slightly different episode today. So I'm still educating myself in the world of GLP-1s, but that's where we are going to. So I'm going to rewind this for a second. A couple of weeks ago, one of my clients asked me, how much time do you spend on TikTok? And I told her, not a whole lot. And I will tell you, when I do go on social media, a lot of the times the reasons I'm on social media are related to business. And when I scroll, I'm looking for audios, I'm looking to see what's trending, I'm looking to see, what kind of things are doing well that I have either created or other people who have a similar niche to me have created. Like, that's where I'm hanging out when I go on social media. Occasionally I like to watch otter videos or baby elephant videos, but that's kind of like where I am. I don't spend a whole lot of time scrolling, and I think I think that's a good thing for my mental health, but I also find it to be a bad thing at times as well, because I'm a little bit in a bubble. And I didn't realize all of the stuff that was happening on social media that is happening on social media. My client asked me if I would go check out FatTok, SkinnyTok, and WaterTok. So I went to all of them, and I want to tell you about WaterTok first. So apparently there are all of these people who are mixing water like they are at a cocktail bar. It is crazy, the water concoctions that these people are coming up with. And yeah, it's just water. And I kind of love how excited these people are over their water. They're putting different flavors in, it's helping them drink more water. And I think that's really great. My client was super concerned. She was like, isn't it just turning it into juice? And no, it's not. You are getting your water in. Now listen, if you are over consuming water now because it just tastes so freaking good, that could potentially be an issue. If you are putting in a bunch of these artificial sweeteners with 0 calories, that could potentially cause some distress to your GI. And if you are, now taking a lot of electrolytes as a mixing flavor, that can, those can have a lot of sodium in them, and that can also throw off your GI tract, and you might notice like the scale going up because of it. Okay, listen, this girl went off on how she can't drink water because it made her gain weight. And she was somebody that I found on WaterTok, and oh my gosh, this video had so many freaking views. She was like, I'm not drinking water anymore because I ended up gaining all of this weight. But when I looked at her water, like, she was a freaking mixologist putting all this stuff in. And something to keep in mind is electrolytes. This actually happened to me the other day. I had this crazy migraine. I've never had a migraine before. So what did I do? I went to ChatGPT and I asked ChatGPT, so what do? I think I have a migraine. And one of the first tips that ChatGPT gave me was get some electrolytes into your system. So what did I do? I ended up grabbing a pack. The only pack that I had access to was Elementi. And I put it in, and the next day on the scale, my weight went up by 3 pounds. And I track all of my food. There was no reason for my weight to go up other than the fact that I had all of these electrolytes that have a lot of sodium in them. So I'm thinking to myself, man, this girl is now going to make people potentially not want to drink water, and they're going to be fearful that it's going to make them gain weight. And it's just like, this is bad information that is now getting circulated on the web. But for anybody who is, you know, thinking about adding flavors to their water because they think maybe that will be an easier way to drink their water, I think that's fucking great. Do it. Do it. And if you want to go hang out on WaterTok and like get some ideas and see what people are doing, absolutely do it. Just be mindful that if you are not somebody who's already taking artificial sweeteners, you got to go slow. And you do not want to over drink your water or overdo it on the electrolytes. Okay, FatTok. I think FatTok's a really strange place to be. I don't know that I am necessarily somebody who has a lot of grounds to stand on in talking about FatTok because I have never been somebody who has been considered obese, let alone morbidly obese. And watching these people in these extremely large bodies doing things that are very unhealthy, like eating these meals that are so high in calories. It's not the food, it's the quantity of food that they're eating, and just eating right in front of you, like waiting for you to make a comment, waiting for you to like it, waiting for you to do something to it. It's very strange to me that this is something that people are doing. And I saw somebody else on social media who shared a video commenting about this where it's like, you know, sometimes I don't think people are necessarily sharing for any reason other than getting attention because they're that lonely. And I think there's some validity in that on FatTok. But I will tell you hands down, if you are at a weight, it doesn't matter if you are at an extremely low weight or an extremely high weight, if you are unhealthy, if you need to be on medication because of your weight, if you cannot do activities like normal everyday activities because of your weight, I think that's concerning. I don't think that's healthy, and I don't think that is something that we should be celebrating. And the more time I spend talking or just like searching that kind of stuff, the more I see people commenting things like, and that person died. That person was so overweight that they're not here anymore because they died. Again, this isn't really a place where I feel like I have a whole lot to stand on to talk to, but just giving my 2 cents on FatTok, I think it's a strange place to be and not necessarily something that we should be celebrating. Okay, SkinnyTok. I could talk about SkinnyTok all day. What the fuck is SkinnyTok? And as somebody who used to have an eating disorder, as somebody who used to be extremely skinny, I have a whole lot of ground to stand on here. And oh my fucking God, SkinnyTok is toxic. It is so toxic. And I spent like 30 minutes one night just scrolling SkinnyTok. And then Tim came over and he was like, "So what are you up to?" And I just started crying. I started crying because I know there's so many people who really do want to lose weight and they do want to quote unquote be skinny. And they're doing it in such an unhealthy way. And I think some of them are doing it just because of their mental health, like that not being in a good place. But I also think some people, they might actually be in a good place from a mental health standpoint, but they don't understand the healthy way to go about losing weight, to get a quote unquote skinny-esque body, and they're starving themselves and they have really unhealthy behaviors. And it makes me so sad because I used to be one of them, and I have figured out how to stay lean and be really strong and really healthy, and they haven't figured it out yet. And I feel so called to be able to help educate these people and realize that SkinnyTok is not the answer. Taking a bite and then going away, that's not the answer. And I feel like, you know, I'm seeing people in the fitness space who have really good messaging, who are trying to teach people that, you know, portion sizes are so big, so just like eat eat until you're full and then walk away. But I feel like these bitches on SkinnyTok, it's like, I'm just gonna take a bite and then I'm gonna go away. Eat small, be big, eat big. And it's like, there's more nuance to this. And I feel like this deserves its whole own podcast episode. And it's going to. But I was on SkinnyTok, and then I started seeing people talking about GLP-1s. Okay, here we go. I will tell you, I'm still taking the time to educate myself on GLP-1s. Am I going to shame anybody who is on a GLP-1? I'm not going to shame everyone. I believe there are some people who really should be on a GLP-1. I believe there are some people where this is like the jump start that they need. I believe the people who are on a GLP-1, working with a doctor, working with a registered dietitian, working with a strength training coach, I believe the people who are doing this in a strategic way, in a healthy strategic way, are doing what is best for them. And I support those people. I am not saying anything bad at this point about GLP-1s. And I think part of that is also because this is still something that is relatively new. And the reason I say that is because I had a conversation with my dad. And for those of you who do not know, my dad is a medical doctor. And I asked him his 2 cents, and he said, you know, this stuff is still relatively new. We still don't fully know what is to come from people who are taking this stuff long term, so it's hard to comment. So if I'm hearing a medical professional say that, you know, I'm somebody who, I don't have all these clients who are on GLP-1s. I have one client who I know takes them, and she's in a group program, and she also works with registered dietitian Hillary Irvin. This is the only person that I know that I work with in some capacity who's on one. So I do not feel like the poster child who should be talking about them. But knowing that that is what my dad said, you know, kind of makes me feel like, okay, well, let's see what's going to happen. And then I saw this clip of Dr. Gabrielle Lyons, who was talking about them as well. And she said, you know, GLP-1s are probably going to speed up the aging process for us over the next decade more than anything else. Because what happens with the GLP-1 is we're suppressing the hunger hormones. So you are supposed to not feel like you necessarily need to eat all of the food, right? So listen, if you have a lot of weight to lose and you lose the weight, but you're not getting enough protein, you're not strength training, you're going to lose fat, but you're also going to lose a whole lot of muscle. And muscle is something that allows us to stay and look youthful. It's not the only thing, but it's one of the things. So if we start to see all of these people who are going after the GLP-1s, and they're not strength training, they're not eating enough protein, they're not maintaining or building their muscle mass.
Are you ready to start building strength, but feel overwhelmed by complicated workouts and influencers on social media? Foundations is your answer. If you're new to strength training and want a simple, effective way to get stronger, build muscle, and drop body fat, Foundations was designed just for you. What you'll need to get started are just 3 kettlebells. That's it. These 3 kettlebells are all you need to unlock your strength, start building muscle, and start seeing real results. There's no fancy moves, no complicated routines, just the basics that will help you to progress safely and confidently. What you'll get when you join: Simple, proven exercises where you will master foundational movements like squats, deadlifts, and presses that will give you strength and confidence. A progressive training program, step-by-step video and written guidance to help you improve no matter where you are starting from. A safe, effective training routine. You'll get to focus on form and build a body that's strong from the inside out. And the best part, it's DIY. You can start right away, no waiting around. You just buy the program today and you get to start building strength from the comfort of your home. You don't need to be fancy to get strong. You just need a solid foundation and the right approach. Foundations is perfect for the woman who is new to strength training and wants to take it at her own pace. She wants to feel empowered, she wants to feel strong, and she wants to feel more confident in her body. If you're ready to begin, visit www.colleenconlon.com for more details and grab your foundations program today. Again, all you need are 3 kettlebells. I'll take care of the rest.
Yeah, they're probably going to lose the weight, but they're probably going to, look different. And whatever else comes from that, I do not know. Again, this is something where I'm a little on the fence even talking about with you on the podcast because there's still a lot of information that I am not the expert on, and I don't want to give you bad information, but this is just kind of what I've been taking in once I went onto TikTok and started hanging out on social media for a few days. So as I'm on SkinnyTok, it's a lot of skinny people talking, but it's not just skinny people. There's people of all different sizes who are talking about being on their quote unquote skinny journey. And as they're talking about this, I'm now starting to get advertisements around GLP-1s. And initially in my head, I'm thinking, GLP-1s are for people who are extremely overweight and need that jump start. It's not for people who could just change their diet, could just start strength training, could prioritize their steps, prioritize stress management. In my head, that's not who this stuff is for. This is for people where the other stuff alone isn't doing it, and they have an excessive amount of weight. They need to lose this weight for health reasons. I'm seeing this stuff on SkinnyTok and I'm just like, oh, this is interesting. And then I end up finding out that one of my baby cousins started taking one. And while she was taking one, she ended up developing an eating disorder. And she ended up losing 100 pounds in a year. And to my understanding, she started taking a GLP-1 to speed up the weight loss. She was doing a lot of cardio, spending a lot of time on the Stairmaster to burn more calories, and she started binging and purging. Now, the whole idea behind these GLP-1s is to help you feel like you don't need to keep eating, right? For people who are overeating, they can't stop thinking about the food noise. It's going to quiet things down, right? I'm just going to say this. I think GLP-1s for people who do not medically need them is the modern day anorexia. I do. I think it's an eating disorder. I think it's for, I think it's for people who want to be able to stop eating, who don't have the willpower to do it on their own. And I know that sounds super fucked up. And if you're thinking, wow, Colleen, that's really fucked up, I get it. But at the same time, what else is it? What else is it? For people who do not medically need this, but they just want to keep losing the weight, you need to stop eating. In their heads, you need to stop eating. So if that's your MO, you're going to go after the GLP-1. Tell me how that's different than just choosing not to eat. You're now going to something that's going to help you to not want to eat. If you're watching the video right now, you can see me doing my, I don't know what else to tell you. To me, it sounds like modern day anorexia, and I'm super concerned about it. And one of the other reasons why I'm super fucking concerned about it, not just because of my cousin, but then I saw a fucking ad on SkinnyTok about this girl. Okay, I'm gonna paint a picture for you. There's this woman. My guess, 5'5", 140 pounds. Beautiful woman. And she's not beautiful because of her size. She's just like glammed out. And I just want you to understand, I'm talking like 5'5", that weight. Nobody would call this woman fat. Nobody. I think more women would call her skinny, not like sickly skinny, but like healthy, smaller body. This woman in this fucking commercial says, I really want to lose 10 pounds before my vacation to Costa Rica. So I went to my doctor to ask if I could get a prescription for this GLP-1, and they said no because my BMI was too low. So I found an alternative website, and then they sent me my medication right to my home, and I was able to lose 10 pounds before my vacation to Costa Rica. That is so fucked up. That is so fucked up, and that's why I am concerned with this and calling it a modern day eating disorder. I then went to the site, and this is a company that is only serving certain states at this time. But I'm concerned because, you know, if this is out in the open and people don't know that with the right training regimen, with the right nutrition, you can get a quote unquote skinny, lean, whatever you want to call it, you can get a smaller body and do it in a really healthy way where you don't need to be relying on things like GLP-1s or binging and purging or crazy amounts of cardio or just like doing these things that are not in your best interest. And I get it. Everybody wants a quick fix. You know, you want to be skinny yesterday. I get it. But I don't know what to tell you. You know, you can do this stuff in a healthy way, in a sustainable way, in a way where, yeah, it's going to take you time, but it's no more shortcuts. You do this with a fucking shortcut, you're going to be right back because you didn't take the time to develop the healthy habits that were going to be able to help you stay here. This is disgusting that people are going to these extremes to get a smaller body. And for anybody who's like annoyed that I'm talking about smaller body, it is what it is. Listen, I get that not everybody wants a small body. The women who are like, I want to be strong, I want to take up space, I want to have muscles, I want to do this healthy, and it's different than like, I want to be fat. I love you. I hope more and more people can get on this page. But I see it even, you know, with celebrities. Who was I watching? I was watching another clip on social media this morning. Who was it? Blossom. Who's the actress who played Blossom? It was Blossom, and she was talking about how, you know, everybody just wants to be skinny. And I saw something else of Nikki Glaser, the comedian, and she was like, yeah, I mean, everybody is on Ozempic. Everybody just wants to be skinny. So I know it's something that a lot of people want. And I'm not just saying that because of Nikki Glaser and Blossom. I'm saying it because it's stuff that I have conversations with women about. I have women in my DMs who want to be skinny. You want to drop the body fat. You want that lean body. And I believe some people want it for unhealthy reasons. And I believe other people do want it for healthy reasons. And I want you to understand that you can have a lean and healthy body and do it in a healthy, sustainable way. But yeah, it's going to take you some time. And depending on where you're starting, it might take you longer than if you were at a different starting point. But what I will tell you is this. As somebody who struggled with an eating disorder for a decade, and then it took another almost 10 years to develop the healthy habits to get to where I am today, a year is really not that long amount of time. Even 2-3 years in the grand scheme of things. This is your life. This is your health. If you're putting yourself in the hospital, if you are living on the hamster wheel, if you are dreading every meal because you know what? You can't get away from food. You have to see food all throughout the day. If you can't develop healthy habits when it comes to your nutrition, to your fitness, to your mental health, you're going to feel like a prisoner forever. You're never going to get the body you want. Even if you get the body you want, it's never going to be good enough. I saw another video on fucking SkinnyTok where this girl was like, if I had the body of my dreams, I would take such better care of it. No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't know how. You want a lean, strong body? If you had it tomorrow, would you actually know how to take care of it? Bullshit. No, you wouldn't. It's a beautiful thing that it takes time to learn these things, to develop the habits. Life is going to happen. Shitty days are going to happen. Are you going to know how to take care of your body and give yourself grace when the tough days happen? Because they will happen. You're human. We all are. A quick fix is not going to prepare you for the future. Healthy habits prepare you for the future. If you are listening to this episode and you've made it to this point, I want you to know that I am a great resource in terms of learning how to strength train to build a strong, lean body. And if you want to, quote unquote, look skinny and be healthy, it's like such a fucking double-edged sword, because I know some people are like gonna come at me by saying skinny, but at the same time, I know that that's what so many people want. But there's a difference between being like anorexic skinny and having a lean, strong, healthy body. And I want you to know that I can help you do that. And I would love to help you do that, because that tops an eating disorder. That tops feeling the way you currently feel about your body. When you start strength training, you gain this confidence. And I will tell you, I fucking love the body I am in right now. And this past summer, I did my first ever surplus in 2024. I got to the heaviest weight I've ever been at. I fucking loved my body. I loved my curves. I love my boobs, my ass that I do not currently have, because you can't always have it all at once. Right now my arms, like you see this definition right here, this is great. I would say the highlight of the summer wasn't my arms, it was my fucking ass. And I think it's really cool that I've been able to learn how to love myself at both sizes. And know that it's possible. And if you want to be small and lean and healthy, I can help you do that. But you know what? It's possible to also be strong, lean, healthy, and then realize, you know what? I want to take up more space. And that doesn't mean I want to, be one of the superstars on FatTok. But it means, yeah, I do want more muscle. I do want to eat more. I'm going to eat big. I'm going to be big. And that means strong, healthy, fucking fierce. And you know what? I might not even be the first person that you need to connect with. Registered dietitian Hillary Irvin. Oh my gosh, that woman is one of the greatest people I have ever met, because the way she helped me learn how to properly fuel for goals, whether it's been being in a calorie deficit in a healthy way where you don't feel like you're going to rip your hair out because you're starving, whether it's been fueling for performance or building more muscle and making sure I'm like not gaining more weight than I necessarily need to, because losing weight, as simple as it is, yeah, it is hard. Or maybe you actually don't need Hillary or myself at this point in time. Maybe you really need to connect with somebody to work on your mental health. I think so much of the time when it comes to wanting to look a particular way, I think there are absolutely people who are healthy from the mental health standpoint. And it's just like, yeah, this is just what I want. And I also think there's a lot of people who are not doing well mentally. And those wants, those desires, they're coming from a bad place. And the mental health side of things might need to be where you need to spend time first. And in that case, I want to encourage you to go to season 1 of the Dangerous Women podcast, where Christy Ashbeck discusses how to find the right therapist for you. Because if you are somebody who is struggling with an eating disorder right now or body dysmorphia, there are specific people for you to talk to get the help that you need so that you can move forward and you can be happy. As we close out this episode, I just want you to remember that your past, your present, it does not define your potential. You absolutely have a choice in how you want to move forward in this life. Your life is a gift. Your life is a present. I believe that is why it's called the present. It's not called the future. It's not called the past. It's called the present because it's a gift. The choices that you choose, they matter. And you not choosing anything, that's a choice too. Meet yourself where you are at so you can achieve the body and the life that you dream of.
Thanks for tuning in. If this episode hit home, don't forget to leave a rating and review. Women are stronger together, so share this with a woman who you want to see rise. When we embrace positive takeaways, we level up, and when we share them, we change the world. Follow us on Instagram at The Dangerous Women Podcast and let us know what you want to hear next. And remember, dangerous women redefine wellness and the world. So be fierce, be authentic, be dangerous.